It's time for ACC Central, presented by Just Means Less.
I drive into right. It's enough. It's back. And it's gone for the cycle. It's a walk-off grand slam. Florida State wins it.
Hosted by Monty Taylor.
In the air, center field. Moore is under it. And on to Omaha for the Cardinals.
Micah Butel.
Fly ball driven into left field. Spin. Does he do it? He does. A walk-off homer by Ken Schmidt.
And Nick Dioli.
Gets it down. Here comes Micah. He is safe. And Boston College wins.
That's ball off the plate for 2 balls, 2 strikes. Monty just got landed on.
There are 2 pigeons roosting right above me, and my can of Pepsi
Smacked into right field. And
Welcome back, college baseball fans, ACC fans. We are just 3 days away from first pitch, and we have completed 16 shows in 16 days, deep diving every team in the conference ahead of this week. I'm joined by Micah Butel, Nick Dioli. We're here to talk general conference previews, talk our awards predictions, but first, let's see how our guys are doing. Micah, Nick, how are we doing? We'll start with Micah. You look good.
Oh, thanks, man. I just wanted to look my best for you, Monty. So, no, I mean, we're back, man. It's awesome. We're obviously tomorrow will be our more natural show as we will be doing our weekend preview that we'll do again. Mondays and Wednesdays will be our normal shows. Okay, this is getting a little weird already. But you know, excited to be able to jump right into that and obviously preview weekend 1 tomorrow and Monday recap it next week. But fun weekend. I'm excited because I will be weirdly enough not watching ACC baseball opening weekend like I feel like I normally do, like in terms of in person. I will be able to watch it from the comforts of my computer as I will be staying in Texas or in Beaumont for our stuff at Lamar. But yeah, man, I'm excited to get it going. So Nick looks cute with his Omaha hat on. I actually almost wore that, Nick, so I'm kind of glad I didn't wear it because we would have been awkwardly matching.
I don't think it would have been awkward at all. I thought it would have been cute, but you know, whatever.
I don't want to be like Nick. Nick's too good for me. I can't compete.
You're too kind, Micah. You're too
Do you know
kind.
something about Nick that I don't?
Yes, and I can't say it on air or that would get us demonetized.
Oh, come on.
Nick,
boys,
yeah, there we go.
I'm doing great. The Super Bowl sucked. The college baseball season is here. It's the people's sport, as our friend Noah Darling likes to say. I'm so hyped up. I can't wait. Unfortunately, both the teams that I kind of cover the most are going to be in Puerto Rico this weekend. So it's the first opening weekend I won't be in person, but I will be.
Yeah, Nick is up. Nick is upset that they've gone to Puerto Rico. He's starting a hashtag shrink the game.
No, absolutely not.
I heard someone say that because I guess like there's been an idea of throwing a Super Bowl to London or something, and somebody's like, "No, we don't need this international stuff. Shrink the game." They were talking about football, but I was like, "I'm going to start that. Shrink the game."
No, but I'm super hyped up, man. I can't wait. I can't wait to deep dive into our preseason stuff. It's beautiful outside. It was 65 today. It was sunny. The snow was finally melting. I rolled down the windows. I opened the sunroof. I played Free Bird. I gunned it. And I was like, man, I get to record a college baseball show with my 2 buddies talking ACC ball.
Yeah, it was 50s here, and I still got a thick, solid sheet of ice in my front lawn. So, anyway, let's jump right into it. Let's talk about we got some fun things. We're going to put out an article that'll, put out all this stuff. But hopefully, if you've seen this, you don't need to read the article unless you want to go back and check. I will say 2025 did not go well for us in this prediction. A lot of our faith in Virginia caused that. Virginia and Stanford really hurt us last year, although I will say Micah, the one that Micah did get right, and it was one that he got a lot of flack for because it's negative, but it was that Rintaro Sasaki would not make any ACC award teams, and that was ultimately true, and I hope you feel good about yourself, Micah.
Yeah, I love that I was right about a kid not being good. That actually is just,
I know.
I love when people suck. It just makes my heart.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, the one thing that we got really, I mean, there were a couple other like small things correct, and then there were a couple things that we were close on, but then there's some where you're like, man, we blew it. But we're gonna jump into it. Let's start with one that is not on the questionnaire, but you guys will get easily because it's who's gonna win the regular season. I realized that I put who's gonna win the ACC tournament. I didn't put who's gonna win the ACC regular season. So hopefully, I know this is a curveball because it's not on the questionnaire, Micah, but I hope that that's one that you're prepared to answer anyway.
No, I mean, I think the regular season has to lean the wonderful logo that is currently on your head. I think Georgia Tech kind of screams the most likely to do it just from the depth standpoint. Again, the schedule isn't too. They didn't get the toughest draw in the ACC regular season, so combination of that, and I think again they had a ton of regular season success last year too. So I think they run it back in 2026.
Yeah, I was at the press conference today, virtually, FaceTimed in, and they did announce the starting rotation is going to be a bit of a surprise. Tate McKee, Mason Patel, not a surprise. Cooper Underwood will get the job the Sunday look for the Yellow Jackets. The freshman apparently coming back from the winter break and absolutely dominant. He was drafted by the Brewers in the 12th round, so big-time expectations for him. But, Nick, who you picking to win the regular season?
I'll stick with the Buzz Boys. I just feel like they're going to have a dominant season. I mean, these guys look fantastic all the way around at every position. They nailed their transfers. I'll go with the Buzz Boys.
See, the problem with me going last is I either end up doing the same as you guys, which is what I would probably do, but I feel like I need to be different. So I'm going to go North Carolina. I just love that pitching staff. So I'll just be different, go North Carolina. All right, let's jump into the ACC tournament. All right, you guys have Nick. We'll start with you, actually. Nick, who are you going with for the tournament? Who's winning the tournament?
I guess I'm going to have to go with Tech again.
Yeah, they're sweeping.
I mean, I like them a lot, man. I feel now, like you brought up Virginia last year, I feel more confident about going into this season with Georgia Tech this year than I did about Virginia last year. Yeah, I think they just kind of ran into a wall in the tournament last year. And I think they have the depth to just kind of ride it out and win, a regular season title and the tournament.
Yeah, not bad. Micah.
I have Florida State. I think what Florida State has as a rotation plays well into a tournament like this. I'm also, this might be a super negative thing, but I feel like winning the ACC tournament doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have a ton of success in the NCAA tournament. It doesn't seem to, unfortunately, bode well for a trip to Omaha after you accomplish a tournament title. So I have some question marks about Florida State as a whole, but I think for one weekend, with that rotation of Beard and Mendez and Moore, I think it sets up pretty well. And I would like to think by then they'll have their bullpen a little bit more figured out. So we'll go Florida State.
Are you feeling better about that rotation than you were, I guess, what was it, like almost 3 weeks ago now?
Yeah, no, definitely a lot better. I mean, obviously getting a phone call. Did not mute that. That's nice. Oh, by the way, you'll actually love this, Monty. It's from our favorite person in Louisville, Kentucky, if you know who I'm talking about. So
I do.
But no, I am a lot more excited after kind of seeing some of the stuff that's been coming out of Tallahassee. Again, shout out to the Sunday Golds podcast. They've had a lot of conversations about it on their show. So, yeah, I'm buying in a little bit more on that rotation, Monty, than I was whatever that was 2.5, 3 weeks ago when we did our preview pod.
Absolutely. I did originally have Georgia Tech as my regular season champion in my head, and I was going North Carolina in the tournament. So I guess officially I'm going North Carolina to sweep. I'm assuming. Oh, okay. I was like, Micah. I was looking at the wrong screen, and I think the other screen has you on a delay because you were still talking, but it was obviously already happened. But all right, let's jump into the next ones. We've got which teams. How many teams will go to Omaha? Which teams will go to Omaha? Micah, we'll start with you. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to go first. My Omaha 8's been out there but a bit already. It should have already. I mean, it's in the Diamond Report. Georgia Tech, UNC, Virginia. I will preface that by saying any ACC team that gets into the tournament is going to have a chance to get to Omaha. But those are the three that I feel the best about. But I would not be surprised if any ACC team goes to Omaha. Micah?
Like them.
Yeah, I got Clemson. I got Georgia Tech. And I broke my own rule where I said that if you win the ACC tournament, it doesn't mean you don't have to go to Omaha because I'm saying Florida State goes to Omaha. So I think those three teams, again, Monty, I've come around on Florida State a lot more than when we did our preview pod. Are they my North Carolina from last year where I was like, they're going to stink at the beginning of our podcast previews. And I was like, wait a minute. No, they're not. What am I doing?
Well, remember, I was surprised when you were like, there's some questions here. And I'm like, okay.
No, and again, the more I look at that lineup with Braden Dowd from USC and Eli Putnam from Davidson, I just get so much more excited with already what they had returning. I mean, just feels like, and again, like Link Jarrett's one of my favorite coaches in the sport. I really do think that he is due to be knocking on that door again. And I think, and maybe it's not win the national title this year, but I think if you win the ACC tournament and get to Omaha, I would say that's another major step forward in that progression to hopefully getting Florida State its first national title. So,
Nick?
I am going with Florida State, Georgia Tech, and Virginia.
No, none of that rat poison. Get that out of here. Take it back. No rat poison
No,
this year.
I won't.
Bad Nick.
Here's
the spray
Well,
bottle.
I started with Virginia. You didn't.
Yeah, he started with Virginia. What are you talking about?
But mine's been out there for a while. Maybe that's what it is. Micah was prepared
honestly,
for mine.
Monty, I'm not going to lie to you. I was a little zoned out, and I did not hear. I heard the other two. I did not hear Virginia. So, bad boys. No, we don't do this. No, absolutely not. Yeah, cardiac hooch. He gets it. No rat
Too
poison.
bad.
None of that garbage.
I'm doing it.
Get out of here.
I'm doing it. Florida State, they should have went to Omaha last year. I think all three of us can kind of agree that they kind of blew an opportunity there.
No, I think Oregon State was better.
Are you sure?
They were at home and they outplayed them in 3 games. And didn't they blow the doors off Florida State in the 3rd game?
Yes, but they should have swept them. They blew that lead in the 2nd game.
You're saying Oregon State should have swept them?
No, I'm saying Florida State should have swept them. So it's 2-0, right?
Sure.
Okay, Monty.
No, I'm just kidding. Florida State was good enough. I think it came down to, who was going to be the home team in that series, and I think Oregon State, benefited from being the 8 versus the 9.
And I think in that 2nd game, there were obviously multiple opportunities for Florida State to shut the door. So I think Link Jarrett will get the boys back to Omaha. Georgia Tech, obviously, I think they're the best team in the ACC. And with Virginia, I think they've got the best transfers. I think they have a very great coach that has the utilities and everything that he needs now to get Virginia and himself to Omaha. So those are my 3. I don't have my Omaha 8 yet. I'm still nailing down the last 2 teams. I'll tweet that later.
Oh yeah, somebody asked me who my Omaha 8 were, and I could not remember who the other 5 were. I knew I had TCU in there. I knew I had Coastal, but I couldn't remember which 3 SEC teams I went with.
I have 6 right now in my head, but I'll get the next 2.
We don't need to share those. This is an ACC show.
This is an ACC pod, yeah.
So we don't need to share those. It'd be nice if we could get 4 again. I would love more than 1. There wasn't enough content for me to do with just Louisville, although it did allow me to enjoy the whole event by only having to work Louisville. But We're going to skip down on our little list here because we're going to save the best for last. Let's talk about some of the positional stuff here. Which team has the best catching group entering 2026? Now, this was a controversial question last year, but I think we're all kind of in agreement because I think it's the best catcher and the best catching group.
I mean, it's Georgia Tech. I know Nick wants. We all wanted to be unique and have secondary answers, I'm pretty sure, but yeah, I think the answer kind of screams Georgia Tech. With, I mean, obviously Von Lackey and the fact that Drew Rogers is your backup catcher. That's not a bad spot to be in for sure.
Yeah, Drew Rogers is likely going to be. I mean, they're going to have him and Will Baker getting plenty of playing time. That's probably your 9th and 10th guys on the roster, but they're going to go. They're 13 deep, obviously, so they're going to get guys in there. But Rogers, I expect him to, he's going to get playing time, especially if they put Von Lackey at third. Sometimes Ramsey said today they're going to have guys playing all over the field in different positions this year, showing off some of that versatility. So.
I have a sneaky option, Monty, that I almost put on there to be different.
I like it. Go ahead. Yeah, go shoot.
Give me Pitt with Sebastian Pisacreta and then Joey Byrne, transfer from Western Kentucky. That was one that was like sneaky good to me because, like, I mean, obviously I think Pisacreta is going to be the starter, but I mean, if Joey Byrne can get into the lineup or even just be, again, give Sebastian Pisacreta a chance to maybe be DH for a day or even just take a day off, like that's 2 really sneaky good bats. Sneaky good defensive catchers as well. I mean, I think that's something that plays pretty well and doesn't get enough love.
I think Jackson Cook also is listed as a catcher.
I think you might be right on that too. Yeah.
Pinch hitter extraordinaire.
Yeah.
So, all right. Moving along. Thank you for adding something different, Micah. There's a couple of answers where I went different just because I wanted to give us some diversity. So don't hate me, Georgia Tech, for some of these because I tried to give us some different answers. But which team has the best infield entering 2026? And Micah was the one that went different here. We'll start with him.
Yeah, I went a little hot take there. I went Clemson. I think that, again, we talked about it in our Clemson preview. I am very much determined that this team was performed underneath or below what it's capable of and what it should be expected to do. I think Luke Gaffney is an absolute stud. Jaron Purifies and take a step forward. Tristan McClatty is going to be another big piece. And I think the pickup in the portal with Tyler Lichtenberger from Appalachian State's a really good pickup too. So I think that infield, I mean, Georgia Tech probably has the most clear, like, what that is. I mean, again, I will always be a Carson Kearse stan over here. And that's probably the name that's least known in that infield. But, I think if I'm going to be different and again, if I'm going to stand and stick my neck out, I think this Clemson team is legit. Then I think that infield is going to be a big reason why.
Yeah, I think there's an argument for all 3 of the position, like offensive groups. The outfield, the infield, and the catching group could be Georgia Tech. So I'm glad we're adding a little bit of diversity and not just sitting here and having a Georgia Tech show, even though I'm wearing the hat. But so speaking of Georgia Tech, Nick and I, we did go Georgia Tech. Nick, talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, they just improved even more at second base and at third base. I mean, getting Jaron Avancula and Zuck are huge, and we already knew who they were returning, so it was hard not to pick Georgia Tech. I get where Micah's coming from. I think if Clemson's going to be a big-time factor and get to Omaha, it is going to be that really good Clemson infield, but Georgia Tech got the best 2 transfers, I think, for infielders, and if they're going to make a run, it's going to be that infield.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. Obviously, there's some great infields in the conference, but Georgia Tech, just Kent Schmidt, Ryan Zuckerman, Jaron Avicula, Carson Kearse.
Yeah.
Will Baker off the bench. That dog will hunt, as they say. Let's move along to the outfield, and we're all in agreement on this one. We could have been different, and the way I would have been different. I can't believe
we all nailed this one.
If I had been different, I would have put Georgia Tech, and that didn't feel very different after the other 2.
My different would have been, Monty, and this is gonna absolutely infuriate both of you. Virginia.
Oh, Micah, I was gonna say that
because of my anti-Virginia no rat poison. But I mean, AJ Gracia, Harrison Didowick, Kyle Johnson, like those are 3 studs out in the outfield. So like you're gonna give me another option in the outfield. and Zach Jackson too, the transfer from Duke.
And Sam Harris.
Yeah, true.
Because Harris will be out there.
That group there. I mean, you've got dudes that, again, if we're going to talk guys that can potentially be studs. I mean, Georgia Tech again probably has an argument for every single thing we talk about today.
I love that
paper standpoint, but
I love that we did all
my second choice behind Louisville.
There we go. We hadn't mentioned the first choice that we all nailed before we dove into Virginia.
We all went Louisville.
We all went Louisville, Zion Rose, Lucas Moore, basically by themselves. Ben Slanker is going to be great. But, it's really – I mean, when you got Zion Rose and Lucas Moore out there, that was more than enough. But like you said, there is an argument with Drew Burris, Alex Hernandez, and Caleb Daniel. I mean, that's an absurd outfield as well. There's a couple –
This was by far the question I was toying with the most because I was deciding between those three teams: Louisville, Georgia Tech, and Virginia.
I had a fourth.
What's that?
I had a fourth. That was
fourth?
Duke.
Dude,
Michael DiMartini, Tyler Albright, and Aiden Zorn, Bobby Marsh.
Not a bad pick either.
Cider Cannon when he's not catching.
Yeah.
So
see, I think. Ultimately, why I picked Louisville is you kind of got to give respect to these guys that they were the only ACC representatives at Omaha. So, kind of give that outfield some flowers that they're coming back,
Absolutely. Micah's making some last-second changes to our sheet here, but good one there. I'm glad he put that one in because I toyed with that one. We're talking best rotation. And we will start with Micah. Which one of your answers do you want to talk about?
The most recent one first, because I've been going back and forth on this because somehow I skipped this when I did the questionnaire originally, so this is my fault for getting this in late. But again, I've really started to buy into that Florida State rotation. But
Florida's rotation also very good.
Yes, unfortunately, yes. For Florida State fans, but yes, I'm buying in on the Florida State rotation. But I was like, there still is question marks. I can't just drink all the Kool-Aid and be all in. But Virginia Tech's staff is one from the beginning. We've all kind of circled as the highlight, right? If Virginia Tech's going to go back to the NCAA tournament, it's going to be because Brett Renfro is what Brett Renfro is. Griffin Stieg has his 2024 year. And take a step forward from that, obviously missing last season. Madden Clement, he's someone I think is going to take a step forward. And again, if Aiden Robertson, the JUCO transfer, is what we've kind of heard he can be and coaches are believing in with him, it's hard not to think that they could be one of those top rotations. And then of course I'll say my other two because they're not on your guys' list, but I had Florida State, like I said, and North Carolina as an option too. I'm still determined that North Carolina has some guys in the bullpen that might move it. Olin Johnson was someone I thought was going to be a starter last year. He's in the bullpen probably as of now, but he could end up becoming one of those guys that falls into the rotation, and we know what he's capable of. So I think just from that standpoint alone, I always trust every arm that North Carolina trots out there. So by rule, it just means the rotation must be pretty good too.
Yeah, what's great with this question, we're going to have 6 different answers because Micah just gave us 3. And North Carolina is going to be around a lot of people's pick. I think the Diamond Report we all picked them as the best pitching staff in the country. But I'm going Wake Forest or Clemson. So again, Blake Morningstar, Matthew Dallas, Chris Lavonis, Cam Bagwell wasn't even announced as a starter for Puerto Rico, who was the CAA Freshman of the Year last year. And then Talon Bell. Well, now Clemson, I feel a little bit iffy about because Drew Titsworth is out this weekend, but he should be back fairly soon. But it's Talon Bell, Drew Titsworth, and Aiden Kanak, who is probably the front runner for ACC Player of the Year. Really like those two. If I had to pick one right now, it'd probably be Wake Forest. But I do want to shout out Virginia Tech. I believe Jake Marciano is going to be Auburn's Friday night guy. And he transferred from Virginia Tech. What's interesting, I don't think he cracks the weekend rotation had he stayed in Blacksburg. And now he's going to be a Friday night guy in the SEC. So that's a testament to what Virginia Tech did collecting that pitching staff. But Nick, hit me with yours. You homer.
I did go with my boys, the Wolfpack. If everything clicks, and by everything I mean Jacob Duden gaining another chance at the starting pitching, it being in that rotation, if it all hits, Marone, Heath Andrews, Duden, that's a weekend punch that I think is going to be lethal. And kind of like what Micah said about North Carolina, there are some guys in State's bullpen that could see like some starting time. Anderson Nance, Cooper Consiglio. I just think they have a very deep and proven staff that's been there, 2 to 3 years.
It's about the rotation, though. Nance and Consiglio are in the bullpen.
If they were to come up,
Oh,
I mean,
to get the next answer, you do have NC State as the best bullpen as well.
Correct. Well, so Micah also has North Carolina as the best bullpen too. So that's why, I think Micah and I were kind of on the same wavelength with NC State and North Carolina.
Yeah, you just added a state to your North Carolina, didn't you?
Yeah.
You see, the difference between Nick and I is we can let our rival school actually be good at things. Where Nick will refuse to allow North Carolina to have anything that NC State can't have.
I give UNC their flowers a lot. I do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. All right, best bullpen. I mean, we're already talking about it. Similar answers. Obviously, we've already alluded to that. Micah and Nick sticking with who they had in their rotation. I went with North Carolina as well after going with Wake Forest or Clemson for the rotation. The reason I said North Carolina, I really wanted to actually go Virginia because I really, really love the Tyler Kappa, Lucas Hartman, Matt Augustine triple-headed monster there in the back. But you can't go wrong with North Carolina here. Cam Seagraves, Walker McDuffie, Matthias, Olin Johnson, Caden Glauber. I mean, the list continues. It's just a studly bullpen there. Micah?
Well, since we had the same bullpen and you just used the word studly to describe them, I think that I have nothing else to add on North Carolina. But they're studly.
Nick?
Yeah, I mean, just like what I said, Consiglio, Anderson. Anderson was like a pleasant surprise last year for the Wolfpack, touching almost 100 miles an hour. I think he started at midweek 2, which was really, really impressive. I would be scared to play those guys. So I think overall State did a really good job with the rotation and with the bullpen this year.
All right, there we go. All right, which player are you most excited to see this year? This is a tough question because there's so many guys.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of you guys because both you guys were able to get one answer. I still couldn't get one. I did too. But we'll start with Micah because I love Micah's as well. I wish I had seen that before and I could have pulled up our lineup graphic because the picture from the Savannah Bananas game was great. But go ahead, Micah.
No, I mean, I actually have 2. I just only put one on there, but my one that's on there is Ty Daly from Clemson, or from Mercer to Clemson. I saw plenty of him in his days as a Mercer Bear. Plus the fact that, not that he underperformed at Mercer, but his numbers don't jump off the page. Like, he was hitting 273 last season. He's better than that, to be honest, and I can't wait to see what he does. He's a fun player. If you see, he's very interactive too. I mean, I think what he did with the Savannah Bananas, clearly he enjoys playing baseball. So I think I'm excited to see what he does at Clemson. The other one for me, Monty, it's unique from your guys' as well. Josh Hansen for Cal, the USC transfer. Again, I remember watching his film, his Perfect Game stuff, and being like, this kid, I don't know how he didn't see the field at USC. And again, I don't know all the logistics of that, but maybe, again, that fresh start does a lot for a lot of these kids. I think it could be really good for him and hopefully really good for Cal on the other side of it.
Yeah, I'm glad we're getting Cal some love because I'm not sure if they're going to get much elsewhere, but that's a good one. Obviously, I'm pretty excited about Cal, to be honest. I think they're going to be much better than last year. I don't know if necessarily that means they're a tournament team, but Josh Hansen, I remember when we did the show, you had gone down a rabbit hole with the Perfect Game stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to admit how long. I think I probably watched 2 hours worth of Josh Hansen highlights, and I'm not sure I should be proud of that, but we'll call that good journalism. Is what we'll call that.
I will say Ty Daly, the vibes are unmatched, and he's on my fantasy team. So
love that.
Yes, my fantasy team did take a big blow today. Tony Pluta is out for the year, which is rough. Obviously, he came back and he was the stopper of the year last year for Arizona. So, just tossing that out there. Wish him the best in his recovery. Not that anyone from Arizona is watching the ACC show, but Nick, who are you most excited about?
Mine's a little biased. Mine's a little homery, but I mean, I love this guy, Will Ray.
He doesn't like defend his NC State one, but when it's about like when he's excited to see a person and it's all about vibes, that's when you defend your pick.
I defended my state pick. What are you talking about?
No, you didn't. You said I am not a homer. I am objective.
No, you guys are only saying that because you picked Carolina in the same category. That's why.
Are NC State and Carolina rivals? I thought UNC's main rival was Duke.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
State's biggest rival is ECU.
All right, Nick, hit me. You haven't gotten to actually reveal the name. I keep interrupting.
I did say the name.
You did? You did say Will Ray? I'm sorry. I might have talked over you then.
Will Ray. He's going to be Wake's closer this year. Obviously, we all know he had Tommy John, and I think it's going to be really exciting to see him kind of bounce back. He's got big shoes to fill if he's going to be the main closer. Wake really hasn't had like an established main closer since Cam Manassi on the World Series team. So big shoes to fill. I think he can do it. I mean, he's been very consistent, and it's going to be interesting to see how he returns after Tommy John. But yeah, love that pick for me.
Did not give up a run in his in the 7 innings he actually pitched last year before the injury. So he was off to a really good start. Regardless of whether he's healthy or not, he is going to be the heart and soul of that team as he was last year. It was like having an extra coach. But mine, I did too. I got Ryan Zuckerman, who he's going to be a monster because he's cut down on the strikeouts. He's having a blast. He's always got a smile on his face. He's got a major league body. Talking to Studley. And I knew that would get Micah. I did that just for Micah's reaction right there. And then Mark Quattroni at Notre Dame. He's somebody who's tearing the cover off the ball over the summer, over the fall, and he's going to be an integral part of that Notre Dame offense. So I went Quattroni and Zuckerman, two transfers I'm really excited about. And those are the two I'm most excited about. But narrowing it down to two was tough, as Micah looks like he's preparing for something here. What player do you think is most likely to have a breakout year? And Micah has issues with this question every year, but I do like his answer. I just would argue it's not a breakout; it's a bounce back. But we're gonna count it. Micah, hit me with
bounce back if the bounce back is going back to when he was not in the ACC, though.
That's a good point. He's going to be my bounce
for everybody. There's a reason why the Clemson hat is now behind me because my answers are just Clemson, Clemson, and Clemson. So I'm going Luke Gaffney, obviously transferred over for Purdue. I got to see him in person when he was a Purdue Boilermaker, ETSU. We happened to go there for a weekend. Kid hit 359, was a stud, but only hit 271 last year. So again, I think he's going to take a huge step forward. So Monty, if you want to call it, your little, breakout, is not, then you know what? Then give me Josh Hansen again if I have to play by your rules.
There you go. What I need to do is just have two separate questions so there's a difference, and then that way you don't have to worry about it. You can just answer both. But yeah, no, Luke Gaffney, fantastic. I'm glad we at least mentioned a bounce back guy, because there's about 10 guys who I think are going to have bounce back years. Harrison Didewick, Kyle Johnson. I'm trying to think of who I've got a whole list that I've got a graphic that I need to make, but Luke Gaffney is.
I would argue that mine is more of a breakthrough because he has not done it in the ACC.
In the ACC, fair enough. All right, Nick, who is your breakout guy?
I mentioned this guy in the Wake Forest preview, and I kind of hinted that he would break through for the Demon Deacons this year. Duncan Marstead. We saw him play a little bit last year, came out of the bullpen. He really didn't play until kind of halfway through the season when they were kind of in need of some bullpen help when the injuries started stacking up a little bit. This is a kid that they've been so excited about since his freshman year. He got to prove himself a little bit last year, and if, the rotation has any problems this year, be prepared to see maybe Duncan Marstead get some starts if things go bad. But I think that he's going to be a big part of why the bullpen can be huge for Wake Forest.
you could have listed 5 sophomores, I think, sophomore arms, 6 maybe for Wake Forest that could break out, and I'd have no idea which one I'd put my money on, because I mean
Yeah.
it could be any of them, could be all of them, but they're all very good. Dressler, it's Troy Dressler, Nate Weissong, Reese Bowie, Duncan Marston, Chris Lavonis, and Cam Bagwell. That is a pretty special group of sophomore arms, all very, very good, all battle tested over the summer and getting experience. So props to you, Nick, for figuring out one of those arms and choosing one, because I couldn't have done it. I would have just been like, I'm picking 3 of them. I'm going under the radar. Jace Lee, Notre Dame. I think he's going to have a big year after getting some experience last year. He's a guy I think has 5-tool potential and could really go off. All right. What is one bold take you have for an ACC team this season, Micah?
Clemson, last team standing in the ACC in Omaha.
What's crazy is what you wouldn't think that's a bold take, but I think this year it counts. I
also think that it's a bold take because Clemson hasn't been to Omaha. I mean, think about the AC teams that have been to Omaha in the last 10 years, and Clemson's not one of them.
Right.
So I mean,
but
it might not be as spicy of a take as Monty. Yours are pretty spicy. I would argue though mine is more spicy than Nick's, but I mean I
actually almost went. I didn't know if this would have been spicy, but I almost kind of went opposite of Micah. I don't know if it's really a hot take, but I almost said Clemson doesn't make Omaha, which, I mean, can it be that hot? They haven't made Omaha in a while.
That's not that's not a hot take.
Spicy,
and also it's negative. So boo.
Yeah.
Micah's hot take, he went positive this year. Good job, Micah.
I think Clemson fans, you better hope I keep that same luck, though. If not, next year we're going back to negative.
What's funny, though, is I don't think this would have been a spicy take last year because, with Cam Canarella and what we thought of them. But like this year, when you're kind of hung over from that Clemson hype almost, and by you I mean people in general. But Nick, I like yours. It's funny, Micah. I think after we reveal all ours, we should have a discussion on whose is the spiciest, because I'm not. There's an argument to be made. I think that his is spicier, but we'll get into that. Nick, hit me.
Yeah. Of like the bottom tier kind of ACC schools. What? You could have just gone into your take, but now you're like adding qualifiers. I'm gonna. Let me finish, Monty. I think the Boston College Eagles break out in Todd Internato's 3rd year. I think he's got his guys. He's got some veteran leadership in Nick Wang returning after his injury last year. I kind of like them this year. They're feisty. They're scrappy. I think they can win some ball games that, traditionally you don't see how, usually these ball games are won. I like BC to make it this year.
Yeah. By the way, BC picked 16th in the coaches poll. I don't necessarily agree with that, but so that's a pretty bold take there from Nick. By the way, congratulations to AJ Colarusso, who will wear the number 8 this year. Obviously, that's an important number at Boston College. Patrick Roche wore it last year. John West wore it the year before. I think Vince Cimini wore it the year before that. So pretty solid group of number 8s there.
Boston College baseball historian right there. Just off the
cuff. The problem is I'm struggling to remember who the number 8 is honoring. So let's not give me too much credit there. I feel like that's more important than being able to list off who it was. But congratulations to AJ. We're big fans of his and excited to see him back on the mound as the Boston College ace. So Nick goes Boston College makes regionals. Micah goes Clemson will be the last ACC team standing in Omaha. I'm going Notre Dame makes the tournament and Virginia Tech hosts a regional.
Now, for you to get this right, do you have to get one or both?
I think I have to get one right. I mean, come on, they're both spicy.
If I got Notre both, Dame to make the tournament's not that spicy, Monty.
Well, that's true. That's true.
The least spicy of the 3 on this board.
I don't know. I think the Clemson one's pretty bland. Just because I wanted to say that now.
I'm about to lawyer. When we have this debate, I'm lawyering your ass. You're not prepared for the evidence I have against you, Monty. I'm not prepared.
I am not, because I'm not really committed to it. So
well, I am.
Micah came in here fiery, like I have the hottest take. You guys don't.
It's not even that. Monty's trying to devalue the fact that I just ate a habanero pepper. He's like, it's not that spicy. Bro, it's still spicy, okay? It might not be a ghost pepper, but it's still spicy.
My bold take, we'll get rid of the Notre Dame one. Virginia Tech hosts the regional.
Now that's spicy. That's the spiciest one in my opinion. I think that one is because you're saying top 16. Like that is up there. Like that is, in my opinion, if we eliminate your Notre Dame, that is the spiciest of all of our teams.
Yeah, if I add Notre Dame in there, they're both. That's even spicier.
You just added. Yeah, if you make it has to be both. Okay, valid.
So Monty, I don't know if you thought about this, but if your spicy take is Virginia Tech hosting, that means do you have someone that might not be hosting that everyone says could be? Are you eliminating?
I'm not. I'm generic ACC team. I can't predict who's gonna get screwed, and I'm not gonna try because I don't know who it's gonna be, and I don't want to know who it's gonna be. I hope nobody does, but yeah. All right, good takes, solid takes. We'll see how we're doing. Last year,
you're not gonna let me come for you and prove you that I'm right. That mine's spicier than Nick's. You don't want that.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Hey
you're
Monty,
right.
How many teams do you think make the tournament in the ACC?
10.
Okay. Did you know, according to your own predictions in the Diamond Report, you had Boston College as 14th?
Yes.
So that is 4 spots off from missing the NCAA tournament, correct?
Yes.
Did you know you have Clemson finishing in the ACC?
I want to say 8th.
Correct. So how many teams do you have going to Omaha?
3.
So that is how many spots away?
I see how he's doing this. That's pretty funny.
So that is a further reach than yours. And then I'm not even saying that they're going to Omaha. I'm saying that they're the last team standing.
I love
obviously like some math out of Monty's report.
Obviously the logic is kind of flawed, but the fact he comes with evidence and receipts, we're not gonna poke a hole in the logic there. It's yes, you win. Nick,
my God.
You have to go back and pick a spicier one.
I put statistics. I didn't just say makes it to Omaha. I had.
Wait. So wait. I have to come up with a spicier one.
No, I was joking.
Well, who do you have finishing last, Monty? Cal?
Pitt.
Pitt. All right, Pitt tournament. There, spicier than Micah. Based on how many positions
I think
away.
Pitt can make the tournament. So you know what? No, I disagree. I'm just kidding.
Love it. All right. Moving into of the ACC teams not ranked in the top 25, what team has the best chance to end the season ranked? Now, I noticed that Nick wanted to cheat here and include Virginia because D1 did not have
in advance.
Virginia is not included in D1s, but they are a consensus top 25 everywhere else. So, but you did put another option there. Go ahead, Nick. Who is going to be in the top 25, most likely to be ranked of the ones that are not ranked?
I did say Virginia Tech. So if we're not counting Virginia, which is totally fair, obviously, Virginia Tech, I think, has the best shot to finish in the top 25. I think a lot of us feel like they have the rotation and the batting lineup to make some noise and get there.
By the way, I mean, even if they're ranked 24, that's only 8 spots from hosting. So that's not crazy. I'm just saying. I also have Virginia Tech as most likely. Virginia Tech, probably Notre Dame next. But Micah?
Yeah, I think Virginia Tech would have been my answer, but I did this after you guys had done it already. So I was kind of like, well, I'm not going to beat the same horse. So Notre Dame, Monty, you've made me a believer. So congratulations. If I redid my bracketology in now, I would have Notre Dame in. So thank you for that, Monty. But honestly, I am. The more I read about Cal, the more excited I get. I just think that, again, that's the outlier. Like there's still so many question marks with them, but if the question marks, if they hit, hey man, they're going to be so good. Like I think they could be that under the radar. So give me Cal. You know what? We'll ride with the Bears.
I love it. I mean, that's the problem is like I do get really excited about Cal, and I'm excited to see how they are. I'm hoping the TV operations out at Stanford and Cal are both better than they were last year. They were some rough productions there, so hopefully we've got an improved product out there. But excited for Cal and all that. All right,
It's quite surprising too that it's so bad, Monty, considering like how smart those people are out there. Like, I know like it's probably not big broadcast schools, but like, I mean, wasn't Stanford's literally just an overhead camera?
At times, yeah. There were times where they had like a full production. And like when Sasaki hit his first home run against Duke, conveniently, they actually had the full production that day. Conspiracy, maybe. All right. Last one before we get into our big ones. All right. What series are you most looking forward to this year? And there are so many options. And we'll start with Micah. I love your pick.
Mine's the best one, so I don't know why we're even going to waste hearing your guys. But Clemson at Louisville. Are you kidding me? What have we seen from Clemson and Louisville has met on the field the last 3 years? They want to kill each other. And if I'm saying those are two Omaha caliber teams this year, it's good. And it seems to be a lot more spicier when it's at Louisville. I mean, I'm just waiting for the recreation of this, Monty.
Illinois.
I mean, it is going to be, and like Louisville fans hate Clemson, like in all sports. Like it's not just baseball. Like I remember when they played in football this year, there was like a lot of like trash talk on our It Just Means Less account. Like, I'm all in on the Louisville Clemson series. If I was allowed to just get a private jet and fly to one ACC series and one ACC series only, I wouldn't even hesitate. It would be this one. So much fire.
By the way, this is not a competition. There is no best answer here. Okay, Micah. That's how this works. It's which one are you most looking forward to? All right, Nick. Not surprising.
No, absolutely not. Not surprising at all. State UNC. I just love how this is the last series of the season. I have a quick little funny story about this. I caught up with Josh Hartle. And we were talking college baseball a little bit, and he said, "Are you excited for, when Wake goes to Duke and Moose is playing the guys again?" And I was like, "Dude, I know. I might go to both State and UNC and Wake and Duke, and hopefully the times play out right." Like in North Carolina, like that is so cool that those two rivalries are just going to be finishing off the season. But anyway, State Carolina. I mean, I think that's huge. They hate each other. Didn't get to finish the series last year due to weather. But I mean, this series goes nuts.
My fun fact is my first credential game was State Carolina at the Bosch walk off bunt by Colby Wilkerson. Yep. Darren Vaught on the call, believe it or not. Mine is one that we should have gotten last year, but we're robbed. Florida State at Georgia Tech. What could have been if the Lodises were still there. But anyway, Florida State at Georgia Tech, the James Ramsey Bowl. It's going to be electric. Going to be a lot of fun. I'll be there for that one. Cannot wait. It'll be a good one. So I think mine's the best.
Can I throw out an honorable mention? No. I can't believe Georgia Tech and Clemson are playing each other this year, right?
Yes. I'll be at that one too. I can't believe
none of us said that one. That's a really good one.
Wasn't Micah's reaction? I just immediately said no.
No.
Oh.
My honorable mention would actually include your State boys, Monty. Jeez, Nick.
Monty, great. Now I'm a State guy.
Miami at NC State would be fun. I think Alex Sosa coming back to Raleigh.
Yes.
Again, considering too, I think that's going to be a massive series for hosting conversation at that point in the year. So, yeah.
All right, we're getting into the fun stuff here. Let's start with ACC's most underrated player. Micah?
Well, thanks for putting that on the spreadsheet there, Monty. I would have prepared that. Most underrated player. I mean, that's such a terrible Carson Curse.
Wait, what? Micah, you have an answer.
You have one, Micah.
What are you talking about?
It was part of the spreadsheet.
What spreadsheet?
It's under ACC Coach of the Year.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Might be. Jack Riddell. You skipped over so much stuff that I scrolled past it, so I was really confused. I was like, when did we – you sent this to us 2 weeks ago, Monty. Not really. It was like a week ago, but sorry, okay? My brain's fried. I worked till 4
Jack Riddell is the most underrated player according to Micah, but he was going to switch it up even though I've made a graphic.
First is also my next answer, so, we'll go with Jack Riddell, though.
All right, Nick.
I went with Sebastian Piscicreta. Sometimes when you see somebody play live and they have a good game, it just sticks in your head. And that game I saw from him in Winston-Salem was pretty unforgettable. I think he single-handedly won that game for Pitt last year. I think he's an underrated catcher and a very, very good player.
All right, and I loved Micah's answer. The one on the graphic anyway. I also love Carson Curse, so I don't know why I said that as if I don't love Carson Curse. But Jack Riddell would have been my pick had Micah not already put that in there. But I went with another Friday night star, Brett Renfro of Virginia Tech. So there's our most underrated players. Jack Riddell for Micah, Sebastian Piscicreta for Pitt and Nick, and Brett Renfro for me. All right, ACC Freshman of the Year. Now this one,
I did not.
Micah, yeah, I know.
I know.
Micah, who knows?
No freshman. Freshman not real. Freshman not real.
That's so great, Monty.
Micah's Freshman of the Year, which will be corrected by the time I tweet these out tomorrow, because he'll answer here.
Monty, you're gonna love my answer.
All right, hit me.
Jordan Rogluski from Duke.
Oh, nice. All right, under the radar. I like it.
Corey Muscard is going to make him something.
I went with J.D. Stein, the new shortstop for Wake Forest, another freshman starting at shortstop for Wake Forest since Merrick Houston did it. So let's see what kind of shoes he has to fill. It's going to be big, but
we're projecting him to start. We don't know if it's confirmed yet, right?
I think it might be confirmed now, from what I've heard.
Nice.
But
it's what we kind of expected it, so it's not a huge deal. I just was like, just to have given you a spot in case you were wrong.
Big shoes to fill, though. So we'll see how it goes.
All right, I'm going to Pitt, who is making a second appearance on our graphics here. Mason Legenza, the 6th round draft pick of the Los Angeles Dodgers. He's a 6'6" guy. He's going to hit lots of bombs. If he stays at Pitt, he'll be one of the best ever players in Pitt history. So why not get it started as a freshman?
Nice.
So for Micah, we have Who Knows, a.k.a. Jordan Rogulski of Duke. And then for Nick, we have J.D. Stein, Wake Forest. And for me, we have Mason Legenza at Pitt. All right, transfer of the year. I should have named this one newcomer because the two options were guys that have already been in the conference. But we'll start with Micah. And a member of
– they've already been in the conference.
That's what I'm saying. It would have opened up a little bit more. The problem is this one's top heavy because of the two guys at the top.
Correct. And I get to be on my own island. Give me Jaron Avicula, Georgia Tech, former Cal Bear, stud.
Yep. Well, the cat's out of the bag. Nick and I went AJ Gracia at Virginia. Jaron Avicula is on my fantasy team, by the way, so I hope he has a big year. But AJ Gracia is going to have a huge year for Virginia. Excited for him. All right, ACC Coach of the Year, Micah.
I am actually shocked that we all did not have the same coach. I was blown away by this because I think it's clear cut. If you think Georgia Tech gets to Omaha, it's James Ramsey. I mean, it's year one of coaching, guys. How do you not have him if you think Georgia Tech gets to Omaha as Coach of the Year? Do we not know how this works?
Because I got to pick. I got to pick third, so I went different. I went Sean Stifler. Nick went
I love
Chris
your pick,
Pollard.
but
So
come on. Unbelievable.
I
mean, if you go to the
honestly,
Dime
Micah,
Report,
I had too many Georgia Techs going on.
if you go to the
So-
Dime Report, you can see all my picks, and James Ramsey is my Coach of the Year pick for the Dime Report. So
he's lying to the viewers. Unbelievable. Behind the
ACC
paywall, Monty makes it different. Unbelievable.
ACC Pitcher of the Year, which, by the way, on the Dime Report, I have what Micah put, but I went different on this one. But Micah, who is your ACC Pitcher of the Year? There's no clear-cut front runner. Well, I guess
Aiden
there is.
backwards K Canuck.
There you go. I guess Aiden Canuck is your front runner, but I don't know if he's a clear-cut front runner like we've had in the last couple of years.
No, that's fair.
So, of course, Jamie Arnold was the clear-cut favorite last year, and Jake Knapp came out of nowhere to nab that. Nick.
I hinted this at the Georgia Tech preview, so I said Mason Patel. My hot take last year was I thought that a bullpen pitcher would win Pitcher of the Year. And for a second there, it looked like Mason Patel could have snagged that. But he's in the starting rotation, and he's been very consistent for Georgia Tech. I think he'll sneak up on some people. And, I think he'll win Pitcher of the Year this year for Georgia Tech.
There you go. Mason Patel, who will be the Saturday starter for Georgia Tech this weekend against Bowling Green. And then mine, Ryan Marone for NC State. I was between him and Jason DeCaro and ultimately went Ryan Marone with the strikeout numbers that he has. Excited for him. So good group there.
You got to switch up, Monty.
What?
You're wearing a Georgia Tech hat, so I'll give you my Ryan Marone headband.
That's cute.
Yeah.
All right. The big one, the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl. No, the ACC Player of the Year. This one is honestly unanimous, but I threw in, I went a little different just to add some difference to it. But my pick is the same as everybody else's. But Micah?
I mean, it's our cover athlete of the Diamond Report.
Yep, it is Drew Burress, the man, the myth, the legend. I went Eric Becker just to be a little bit different to provide some options. I know they like shortstops and catchers for ACC Player of the Year. So if Burress isn't in there, I think Eric Becker's got a legitimate shot, of winning that award. But I think it'll be Drew Burress. But when I saw your guys' pick, I was like, oh, I really don't want to do all three of the same. So I went a little bit different, added some Eric Becker in there.
I would have gone A.G. Grassi if I'm picking a Virginia Cavalier in that spot, but
I like the defense. They like adding defense into that position, and so it is what it is. But sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes it rains.
Just to be a little different, just to throw a name out there, Miles Bailey, I think, is an under the radar type of ACC player.
I don't know. I don't think he's quite under the radar, but I think him being at first base, he has to be far and away the best hitter in the conference, which is possible. Have a lot of power. Yeah. Right, which is possible. If it's close though, and somebody else with that's the only thing is like I question that, because like you think about 2023 with Kyle Teal. I think Mark Harvath, Brock Wilkin, and Yohandy Morales all had like similar numbers. And I thought one of those three were going to be ACC Player of the Year. And then Kyle Teal, being a catcher and what he did behind the plate for Virginia really ended up being kind of like the tiebreaker for him. All right. Micah, we are under an hour here on the prediction show. We have gone through a lot. We've got stuff coming out. We got power rankings coming out. We got what else we got? We got this questionnaire predictions coming out. We've got an all-star selection show that will be out on Thursday. Lots of exciting stuff. Micah, take us away. You got anything you want to share before we move on?
Yeah, again, tomorrow we'll be dropping all of these wonderful graphics that Monty made, and there won't be a question mark for some of my answers, hopefully. I mean, Monty, if you want to put it out there to expose me, go for it. But we'll have those coming out tomorrow. Nick, I need you to send me your power rankings, but we will drop all three of our power rankings going into the preseason. And tomorrow night, we're going to be right back here previewing weekend one, a very good weekend one in the ACC. I think there's a lot of things to learn, so that's really exciting. And then again, it's not too late. It is too late to get one of these beautiful physical copies. Monty, this is one of the this. I am literally devastated that I did not contribute at all to this, because this is the coolest thing I own. I have all the Phil Steele football magazines. I think it was our guy Matt that talked about how he grew up with the football magazines and just was dying for something for baseball. I mean, this is literally it. But it's not too late to get the PDF copy. I mean, this thing is just incredible. It's filled with so much stuff, y'all. And again, I like the physical copy. If you print out just the ACC teams alone after you pay for it, you can go through, and I know I'm going to be marking off the records on the weekends as we go. I'm going to be circling different things as we go. If a player gets hurt or someone starts to fill into a new role, what does that look like? This is just so cool and so filled with knowledge. Monty obviously did the entire ACC. Monty's the smartest ACC baseball personality in the world. I will die on that hill. So I'm telling you, get your copy of the Diamond Report. It is the cheapest, most wise investment of $20, Monty?
Yeah, $20 for
$20 you can spend. I spent $30 to get this thing shipped overnight just so I could have a physical copy for this show.
He got it before me. He got it before my copy. I'm still waiting on mine. Mine was supposed to be here Sunday. It got held up in Mississippi.
I paid $30 for the overnight. Okay, so I wanted it that bad. I barked loud enough.
So thank you, Micah. Fantastic. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow night with our first weekend preview, which also means our X Factors will be back. So you two think about that. That was a really fun thing last year. We'll do picks, but we won't do our official pick 'em until conference play starts. Nick, any final thoughts before we let the audience go? Big fella.
Not much. Just happy to be back with you boys. 16 shows was a lot, so that was a lot of fun. But yeah, love being.
It's going to end up being 19 shows in 19 days before first pitch. So great for us. Look at us. We're pretty awesome. Pat yourselves on the back, guys. That's going to do it. We'll be back tomorrow night. Just stay tuned. We got tons of content. There's tons of college baseball content everywhere. It's great. We'll be back tomorrow night. But until then, it just means less.